कल्याणी मैडम जॉइन कलेनी कि कल्याणी मैडम हेलो କଲ୍ୟାଣୀ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଜଏନ୍ କଲେ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ।
ଜଏନ୍ ହେଇଛି ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହଉ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ।
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Start at sharp 5:15. Huh? Let's join others. Is it visible? The screen is visible or not? Anyone can respond. The screen is visible or not?
No,
Is
ma'am.
the screen is visible? Not
No,
visible.
ma'am. No. Now visible, ma'am.
Okay. Visible? Now visible?
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
We'll discuss about your block 1, that is MES-042 code and dimension of educational management. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. In this block, you have educational management at the national level, and the dimensions are the first one is policy formulation and policy planning, then organizational structure. After formulation and policy planning, we'll discuss about the organizational structure, then role of national bodies, and how to coordinate and how to network among, how to build a rapport about among all the stakeholders. That is coordination, networking, partnership, and linkage. Then policy in the in under the policy formulation and policy planning, there is four dimensions. One, definition and importance. What is a policy and what is the importance of policy in the educational field? And then policy formulation process, how the policy is formed, what are the process, what are the steps during the policy formulations. Then types of educational planning, what are the planning to implement the educational policy, and the major policies are taken before independence and after independence. What is a policy? Before going to the policy planning, we have to understand what is a policy and what is specifically educational policy.
Ma'am,
An educational policy is a set of rules, guidelines, and
voice
principles.
echo ହଉଛି ଭଲସେ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି। ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍, ଯେବେ ନା ଯେବେ ଟିକେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଭଏସ
Now it
ମାଇକ୍ ମ୍ୟୁଟ୍
is
କରନ୍ତୁ।
audible.
Yes ma'am, ma'am, ଏବେ ଠିକ ହେଲା। ସେ ଜଣେ ମାଇକ୍ ଅନ୍ କରିଥିଲେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ।
Now it is audible clearly. Audible. Now it is audible clearly.
Yes ma'am, yes ma'am, audible।
Yes, ma'am.
Before
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to
Yes.
policy formulation and planning, we have to understand what is a policy and what is the educational policy particularly, and educational policy is a set of rules. Or a policy is a set of guidelines, principles that established by government and also educational institutions or organizations to shape and regulate educational system in nationwide. These policy determine how education is delivered, funded, and assessed. Particularly, a policy determined by the government and it is delivered, how it is delivered and funded, assessed, all about all the rules and guidelines are formulated in the policy, inside the policy. So second part is educational policy formulation and policy planning are crucial that shape the development and effectiveness of an educational system. What is the educational system is doing in a nation that depends on the educational policy, and the whole nation's development depends on the educational policy and its implementations also, and implementing action to improve education at various levels, the local level, national level, and also in international level. And what is the importance of a policy? What are the importance of a educational policy? First of all, educational policy formulation is the process of developing guidelines, regulations, and principles that govern an educational system. And also, it involves decision making by government, policymakers, educators, and also all the stakeholders that impart or implement in the ground level the policy implemented by the stakeholders also and also by the teachers. So policy, after making the policy, it is very useful to all the stakeholders to address the challenges and improve educational outcomes. In key steps in educational policy formulation, what are the steps? What are the steps we go through go through to form a new policy or educational policy? First of all, to identify what are the ground level problems and identify the problem identification, recognize issues in the educational system. What are the major issues prevailing in the present situations? Before making a policy with a ground rule or ground system to look into the problem and identify the ground level problems. So first of all, the problem identification is the key or a key step before the policy formulation. That means recognize the issue and the challenges or issues in the educational system. For example, low literacy rate or mm, low. What are the infrastructure? What are the problem regarding infrastructure or what are the regarding teacher people ratio? So these are the some specific problems in the ground level. So before policy making, all the problems are identified. Then second one, setting goals and objectives, defining clear and measurable educational aims. First of all, aim, then objective, then curricular goal, then competency, then learning outcome. Step by step, we work on it. So before making the policy, we have to set some goals and objectives. For example, universal primary education, gender equality in education. If you read, if anyone read the NEP 2020, anyone have read
Yes, ma'am.
NEP 2020?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am.
How many chapters,
Yes,
how
ma'am.
many sections in NEP 2020?
Section, ma'am.
How many
Ma'am,
sections?
NEP first ಎಲ್ಲ primary, তারপরে higher education, making it happen. Ma'am, last one is how to implement it.
It has four sections. Section 1, 2, 3, 4. The first section regarding the school education, related to the
Yes,
school
ma'am.
education. The second one related to the higher education. Third one is the other key area, and the fourth one is making it happen. Thank you. Very good. In this NEP 2020, there are four sections. So, the NEP 2020 is written in the five aspects, that is access, retention, and also accountability, access, equality, accountability, and affordability. In this five aspect, the NEP 2020 is written, and every section has related to these five aspects. First one is access, second one is equality, third one is accountability, fourth one is affordability, and the fifth one is technology. So in every aspect, these are inbuilt in the sections. The first section related to school education, and it has how many chapters?
Ma'am, 8 chapter.
Thank you. The first section that related to school education has 8 chapters. So, if we connect this NEP 2020 related to policy formulation, then can easily connect that, set that goal and objectives, and universal primary education. Before, if you analyze the national education policy 68 and 86, the major key area was that universal of primary educations. So regarding the second point, setting the goal and objective, it is universal primary education, for example, and gender equality in education. And the third one is stakeholder consultation. When the NEP 2020 was draft was written, many feedback was collected from ground level, from stakeholders, from parents, from teachers, from teachers trainee, teacher educators. Several feedback were collected. Then the draft was written or formulated. So stakeholder consultation is very much important for a policy formulation, because they are the real game changer, or they are real practical field implementer, who are given their concern. So stakeholder consent consultation, example, engaging teachers, student, parents, policy makers, and community leaders in discussion. If we connect all those stakeholders, then a better policy can be formed. So policy next is policy design and drafting. After setting the goals and objective and collect some and after the discussion among all the stakeholders, then the policy draft is can be written. So developing frameworks or regulations and action plan based on research and stakeholders input. Then the legislative approval. After that, the legislative approval is take place and passing policy through government bodies and educational authority or minister of education. Then after policy formulation, that next part is the implementation. Implementation is rolling out the policy through program, funding and institutional support. Then monitoring and evaluation, how the policy is implemented and how effectively the policy is implemented. We different stakeholders monitor that implementation, and if the policy is implemented successfully or educational development is the educational status is developed, so it should be monitored and evaluated. Then policy planning. After the policy is formed, how it is, how it can be implemented at the ground level. In the policy plan in education. Policy planning ensures that educational policies are effectively implemented by outlining strategy, resources, and timeline. If you analyze the school education in NP 2020, you see they hierarchically step by step process is taking place. First of all, first chapter is, what is the first chapter in NP 2020? Anyone can respond?
Ma'am, ECC.
Very good. ECC, early childhood care. ECC was the initial part already it has already defined in policy 68 and also in 86. But practically how it is implemented and how we link the ECC with FLN. In this part, the second chapter of NEP 22 is FLN. ECC and FLN is closely related to each other. So policy planning ensures that education policy are effectively implemented by outlining strategy. Strategy is built about to implement the policy, and what are the resources should be, what should be the resources that must be also mentioned in the policy, and timeline. How in if we analyze the NEP 2020, we target the NEP 20 target the higher education 100% enrollment about 2035. In the primary section, the enrollment status is near about 100%, but in the higher education, it is very low, and it targeted that the access 100% access in the higher education must be 100% in about 2035. So some timeline is given to implement the policy, and this strategy should be achieved, or this guideline or outline should be achieved during some timeline. So it involves systematic decision making to allocate resources efficiently and achieve educational goals. Some goals are set that if we think the ultimate aim of education is to develop a responsible citizen. So the goal is to create a responsible citizen. According to the goal, some curricular goal are defined and some competency are defined according to stage wise. There are four stages. You know that there are four stages. First one is the foundational stage, and second one is the preparatory stage, and third one is the middle, and fourth one the secondary stage. So each in each every stage, a specific stage, there are specific goals. And the ultimate goals is to develop a responsible citizen, and the students should be holistically developed. All round development must be taken place. So it involves systematic decision making to allocate resources, to use the resources efficiently, and ultimately achieve the all the educational goals at all stages or all levels. In the key aspect of educational policy and planning, the key aspects are need assessment, resource allocation, short-term and long-term planning, implementation strategy, monitoring and evaluation. We already discussed about the need assessment, analyzing the data to determine educational priority, that is enrollment rates and teacher-student ratio. If you see in the practical field, that the teachers student ratio in 1986 policy, that 30 is to 1, but till now that cannot be achieved. So process is going on, and the government is taking some steps to create a environment and create a favorable situation to cater the student teacher student ratio perfectly. So the policy is a process, a way, and it has a timeline to achieve. So we started our performance to achieve the NEP 2020, and all those steps are taken also. But it takes 2 to 3 years or 5 years or 10 years time to achieve the or to completely implement the NEP 2020. So now the need assessment, analyzing data or determine educational priority depends on the enrollment rates and teacher student ratio. Then resource allocation. Resource allocation means how the environment or infrastructure should be in a schooling system. Suppose now Balbatica is shifted to the schooling system. Before we know that the Balbatica is inside the Banganwadi center, Balbatica 1, 2, 3, uh, uh, ECC, under ECC 1 to class 1, pre nursery, nursery, and Balbatica. The three sections are under the ICC, but now it is shifted to Sishu Batika before class 1, and the Sishu Batika inside the schooling system. So it needs some budget, and the budget infrastructure should be developed inside the school to implement the policy. So budgeting for infrastructure, teachers training, and now several sections are in the NEP 2020. So teachers should be acquainted with the system, and teachers should know about the system, and teachers should update or build their capacity to cater the to face the NEP 2020. So teachers training and technology. Now technology in every section, technology is included or integrated in the system. So in every part of the system, teachers must be technologically friendly, and also the infrastructure will develop technology and internet facility and smart TV, all are included in the schooling system. And curriculum development, and also the if the where stage are changed, foundational stage, in foundational stage the curriculum should be different types. In the preparatory stage there must be different curriculum, and in the middle stage, we know that from the class 6 onwards the vocational education is implemented. So according to that policy, curriculum also developed stage wise. So short term and long term planning. uh, i- Whenever we implement a policy, we have to plan short term. Suppose now we plan for FLN. Suppose the central ministry and also the state and implemented FLN completely, and it should be achieved by 2026 and 27. So this is a short-term plan, and universal access is a long-term plan. So regarding this, some short-term and long-term planning is also established, establishing action plan for immediate improvement and long-term reforms. So to implement or completely implementation of the policy, we have to plan short term action plan and long term planning. Then implementation strategy, developing framework for executing policy such as capacity building program and public private partnership. Now the public private partnership is very much important to implement the policy, and also the teachers are every stakeholders capacity build up is needed, and many more trainings are conducted to build up the capacity of BOs, DOs, CRCC, and also teachers. And membership or a liaison between the community members and teachers and stakeholders now must be taken to implement the strategy. Then monitoring and evaluation mechanism. Uh, what are the real scenario, or what are the practically policy? What is the practical scenario at the classroom situation? Is the policy is implemented successfully in each and every part? The monitoring personnel are alerted, and they are regularly monitored the classroom situation, monitor the teachers classroom and activity what are done in the classroom. They regularly monitor. CRCC monitor all the FLN classrooms, and also the stakeholders, BODOs, DAD faculty monitor the classroom situation. If students are really benefited by the policy, or teachers are also is the teachers are friendly with the policy. These are all the monitor and evaluation mechanism. Setting performance indicators and conducting assessment and making policy adjustment. In every part of the, it is a process based assessment. We called it the formative assessment. All the formative assessment conducted in the schooling system, and also assessment about the monitoring officials. Those in every part there is evaluation mechanism is conducted. Then challenges in educational policy formulation and planning. We must implement the policy, and but there are some challenges. We always face the challenges in the practical scenario. That is political interference. If in the town or municipality in a school there is student capacity or student strength is 100, but there is 12 teachers, but where the student strength is in a interior area, student strength is 200, but the teachers strength is 3. So if in here in this case the teacher ratio is not normalized. So, if a BO or a DO want to rationalize the situation, but he can do it freely, because there is some political interference there. So, political interference are a big challenges nowadays to rationalize the teacher-student ratio. The policy may change with political leadership and affecting consistency. So they must be involved in the policy, and they understand the situations, and they should involve in the implementation. So this is a big challenge nowadays. Then financial constraints, limited budget can hinder effective implementation. So several budgets are given to the school, upper primary, primary, and higher educations, or above plus two educations. Finance, whenever a HM wants to do something, academically develop the student, want to some develop some TLM for students, or want to do a science exhibition, science inspire. So they face some financial constraints. So this is also a challenges for them. Then resistance to change. Stakeholders may oppose to reform due to cultural or institutional barriers. If there are many communities like different types of community, so there is also sometimes raise some problems, and stakeholders do not want to change the culture. So this is also a challenges to in a schooling system. Lack of data and research. Insufficient information may lead to ineffective policy. If we collect data from superficially, or also from not collected from ground level, maybe the data can maybe manipulated. So if manipulation data is considered, then it leads to a ineffective policy. So there are several or various factors or challenges that hinder in policy making and formulation. Effective educational policy formulation and planning require a data-driven approach, stakeholder engagement, and continuous evaluation. By addressing challenges and implementing well-structured policy, government can enhance education quality and accessibility and equity. Before I said that this NEP 2020 is also based on five aspects, that is access, equality and equity, and accountability, affordability, and technology. In every part, these five aspects are integrated. Then key aspect of educational policy. What are the key aspects of educational policy? One is curriculum standards, funding and resources, then teachers training and qualifications, access and equity, assessment and evaluation, technology integration, higher education regulation. Curriculum and standard. The some standard is setting regarding stage wise what subject and skill student must learn. Now the NEP 2020 is focused on skill based education and innovative pedagogy, that is, and creative, it fosters creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration and cooperation, the 4C. So curriculum must be the curriculum must be foster these aspects, and develop these aspects among the students. So the students must be the curriculum must be skill based, that the students face the life skill. We discuss sometimes various often we discuss about the skill education and life skill education. So that the curriculum must be written and inculcated with skills and competency, so that the students it avoid the rote learning, and it must be the competency based. The curriculum must be competency based, so that the students after every stage the student can achieve the skills, and they can easily develop their skills and also the life skills. Those the 4C, I had discussed that the creativity, the student must develop creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and cooperation. So curriculum must have a standard that develop the students for their life. Then funding and resources. How schools are financed and what resources they receive. the what should be the infrastructure, and what should be the teachers student ratio, what should how the environment of the school developed, this all these regarding development, must funding and resources must be given. So from the national level or state level and district level, under the Samagra Sikha, now the Sarva Sikha converted into Samagra Sikha, and so under the Samagra Sikha and several aspects, several schemes, the school provided with financial assistance. So financial assistance is a very crucial part to develop a good develop a good school environment, and giving opportunity to the students. Then teachers training and qualification in every stage. Now the primary section, the teacher must be completed DLED, and for secondary section, the teacher must be completed B.Ed. But after NEP 2020 implementation, it must be every teacher should be completed B.Ed program and B.Ed training program. Qualification or degree must be according to the stage. And in NP 2020, in the schooling system, there is a accreditation for teachers or teacher assessment. Every teacher must update their knowledge, must update their capacity day by day, so that they face the challenges according to the NP 2020. Then, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Then access and equity. Uh, Already we have discussed what is the access. Access means 100% enrollment in the schooling system, in the primary stage, in middle stage, or in secondary stage. In every stage, there must be 100% access, so that no one can divide from the education system. And equity. We must, if you analyze that, we avail
मैम सुना होनी
मैम तो नहांती
वेट करो मैम बोधे कटी गला बोधे आसीबे मैम वेट करो
ओहो
କ୍ଲାସ ସରିଗଲା ବୋଧେ ଆଜି।
नहीं क्लास 2 आवर रहइबो ना तो मैम कर कुछ टेक्निकल इशू पे मते मैम कटी गले तुम वेट करो 5 मिनट खंड मैम आसीबे
ପେଜ 1 ରୁ 6 ଯାଏ କିଏ ଟିକେ ସ୍କ୍ରିନଶଟ ସେୟାର କରିବେ କି ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ?
क्लास लास्ट शेयर कर देबे
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।
Am I audible?
मैम
यस मैम
ऑडिबल
यस मैम
यस मैम
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, some network issue. My screen is off. Now, again, I leave and join. Where we left? Now I am again presenting my screen.
मैम
Is it visible?
यस मैम
यस मैम
यस मैम
Please tell me where I left and where the screen was off. In which slide? In this slide,
Key aspect of educational policy.
this slide. In this slide, I left your 11th slide.
Yes, ma'am, that slide.
This slide.
Yes, ma'am. This.
Okay, okay. So technology, in which part? Curriculum standard or point 1, 2, 3, 4 or which one?
Ma'am, 5.5, kit point, assessment and evaluation. Assessment
Okay,
equity.
okay, thank you. In assessment and in every part of every part, the assessment must be done, and it is very important part to access the implementation strategy and what is the status of implementation strategy. So in every part we assess the students, and we assess the teachers, we assess the stakeholders, and standardized testing is the large type of huge type of testing that conducted through Parak. Recently, a NAS National Achievement Survey was conducted in class 3, 6, and 8. So it is a standardized test, and now after implementation of NP 2020, Parak was the authenticated agency who conducted the standardized testing. If we test throughout a district and a large sample is included in the test, it can be a standardized testing. So to know the status, or know the implementation strategy, we must assess each and every aspect of the national policy. Then accountability measures. Accountability is the crucial part or the important part. If there is accountability, then the teacher can perform better, and he can also easily build his or her capacity to implement the national policy. So accountability is the best part for a teacher to develop his or her capacity, and 100% give 100% effort to the system. To assessment, without assessment and evaluation, we cannot change our policy, or we cannot develop further, or we cannot grow further for the educational system. So assessment and evaluation is a very important part to change a policy or change a system. Then technological integration. Technology, if you read the NEP 2020, in every part there is technological integration, and it is a important part, because technology gives students amusement, students feel happy. If students feel happy and get interested into the system or interested into the education system, they can easily develop their creativity and critical thinking. And also, by the technological integration, we easily develop our teaching learning standard, and the CWSN students are also very much interested towards the education system. They can use technology and develop their capacity, and their achievement level is increased. So technology is the integral part of education nowadays. So use of technology also develop our economical growth, and develop our students capacity, and they learn themselves, and complete with several types of courses, and they several social media, YouTube, they know different types of concept, and their concept must be clear. So technology is a very crucial part nowadays. Then higher education regulation. In higher education, there is UGC, NAC, and different types of accreditation system to judge the university and to grade the university. And we know that whenever the students complete the schooling system and go forward to the higher education system, due to some lack of money and affordability, they break their education and go to different states for earning. So now NEP 2020 regulates that the higher education must be affordable to all the students. So standard setting must be done through different agency, that is UGC, NAC, and NCT, and also AICT. So higher education and regulation must be a key aspect of educational policy formulation. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Educational policy making involves multiple stakeholders groups, that is government bodies, and also government body means Ministry, Department of Education. What are the functions of Ministry and Department of Education? The Ministry and Department of Education set national or regional policy, funding, and curriculum standards. And also legislators means parliament, congress, local councils. They pass law and allocate budgets for education. And regulatory agency, they ensure school comply with law and accreditation standards. These are the function, or these are the work of different types of government bodies. Then educational institutions means school boards, district authority. They implement policy at the local level, oversee school operations, and school administrator like principal, superintendent, they ensure policy compliance with schools. Teachers and faculty, they implement curriculum, particularly they implement the curriculum, assess student progress, and provide feedback on the policy. Students and parents. The third pillar of the educational policy is the student and parents. Students directly affected by policy on curriculum, assessment, and school environment. Parent and guidance advocate for quality education, school safety, and student rights. Then teacher, and fourth pillar is the teacher student organization. Teacher unions influence policy on teacher salary, benefits, and working conditions. These are the aspect of policy making involves multiple stakeholders. Students council and youth organization provide students perspectives on education policy. So all the stakeholders are keenly or included in the educational system. Then evolution of educational policy. If we analyze the before independence and after independence, the educational policy, you know that several educational policy are implemented in our Indian system, Indian educational system. First one is ancient and medieval education, that is Gurukul system. You know about that. You already know about the Gurukul system. Uh, Someone can tell. Can you tell what are the at the time of Gurukula system? What were the aspects? Anyone can tell. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ଗୁରୁକୁଳ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ସିଷ୍ଟମ
ସେତେବେଳେ
ଯେତେବେଳେ
ତ
ଥିଲା,
ଗୁରୁକୁଳ ସିଷ୍ଟମଟା
ହଁ,
ସେତେବେଳେ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ଯେତେବେଳେ
ଗୁରୁକୁଳ
ଗୁରୁକୁଳ
ସିଷ୍ଟମ
ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଥିଲା, ମାନେ ଗୁରୁକୁଳ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆନ୍ସିଏଣ୍ଟ ମେଡିଏଭାଲ ଏଜରେ ଆମର ଗୁରୁକୁଳ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଚାଲିଥିଲା, ସେତେବେଳେ କଣ ମାନେ ଏଜୁକେସନ ସିଷ୍ଟମରେ କିଭଳି ଭାବରେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗୁରୁକୁଳ ସିଷ୍ଟମରେ ପଢା ଯାଉଥିଲା ବା କିଭଳି ଭାବରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସେଠି ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଅପ୍ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆମେ କହିପାରିବା ଏଇ ଗୁରୁକୁଳ ସିଷ୍ଟମଟା ବେସିକାଲି ବେଦିକ ପିରିୟଡ ସମୟରେ ଯୋଉମାନେ
ହୁଁ
ହାୟର କାଷ୍ଟର ବିଲଙ୍ଗ କରୁଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ବି ବେଶୀ ଫ୍ୟାସିଲିଟି ମିଳୁଥିଲା, ଆଉ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଲୋୟର କାଷ୍ଟ କରୁଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଏତେ ମାନେ ସ୍ଥାନ ମିଳୁନଥିଲା ପାଠ ପଢିବା ପାଇଁ। ଆଉ ସେ
ହୁଁ
ଟାଇମରେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଉପନୟନ, ଆମର ଯେମିତି ୱେଲକମ ସେରିମନି ରହୁଛି ସେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଉପନୟନ ସେରିମନି ହୁଏ। ଯେମିତି ବେଦିକ ବୁଦ୍ଧିଷ୍ଟ ସିଷ୍ଟମରେ ପବନ ସେରିମନି ହେଇଗଲା, ତ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବୁଦ୍ଧିଷ୍ଟ ଏଜୁକେସନ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଆସିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ସବୁ କାଷ୍ଟ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଇକ୍ୱାଲ ଚାନ୍ସ ମିଳିଲା। ସେ ମାନେ ଯାହା ଫଳରେ ବୁଦ୍ଧିଷ୍ଟ ଏଜୁକେସନକୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଲୋକ ଭଲ ପାଇଲେ, ଆଉ ସେ ଯୋଉ ରିଲିଜନ ଟାକୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଫଲୋ କରିବାକୁ ଲାଗିଲେ। ତାପରେ ତ ଆସିଲା ମୁସଲିମ ଏଜୁକେସନ ସିଷ୍ଟମ।
ହଁ, ବହୁତ ବଢିଆ। ମାନେ ମୋର କହିବା କଥା ହେଲା ସେଠି ମାନେ ଟିଚର ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆମର 4 ଆସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ ଯୋଉ ଅଛି ଏଜୁକେସନର, ପ୍ରଥମେ ହେଲା ଆମର ଏନଭାୟରନମେଣ୍ଟ ଗୋଟେ, ଏଜୁକେସନାଲ ଏନଭାୟରନମେଣ୍ଟ ଗୋଟେ, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଟିଚର ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ରିଲେସନସିପ ସେଠି କେମିତି ଥିଲା। ମାନେ ଗୁରୁକୁଳ ସିଷ୍ଟମ in ancient India, education was imparted through the Gurukul system, where students lived with their teachers. ସେମାନେ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନେ ଏଠି ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଫର୍ମାଲ ଏଜୁକେସନରେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇମ ଲିମିଟରେ ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ଯାଉଛେ ଫେରୁଛେ, ସେଠି କଣ ହଉଥିଲା ଅଲ୍ ଦ ଟାଇମ ଯେତେ ସମୟ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେ ଗୁରୁକୁଳରେ ରହୁଥିଲା ସେଠି ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ମିଶିକି ରହୁଥିଲେ। Students were lived with their gurus or teachers and studied scriptures। କଣ ସେଠି ପଢା ଯାଉଥିଲା ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ସିଷ୍ଟମରେ, ଯୋଉ କରିକୁଲମ ତାଙ୍କର କଣ ଥିଲା କରିକୁଲମ ତାଙ୍କର?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ବେସିକାଲି ତାଙ୍କ କରିକୁଲମରେ ମେଡିସିନ ହେଇଗଲା, ତାପରେ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚର ହେଇଗଲା, କିଛି ସ୍ପିରିଚୁଆଲ ବେଦିକ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଚାରି ବେଦ ଗୁଡାକ ହେଇଗଲା,
ହୁଁ
ଯଜୁର୍ବେଦ, ସାମବେଦ, ଅଜୁର୍ବେଦ, ଅଥର୍ବବେଦ, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ରହିଗଲା ମାନେ 4ଟା ବେଦ ହେଇଗଲା। ଉପନୟନ ପାଠ ପଢଉଥିଲେ, ଯୋଉ ଉପନିଷଦ ପାଠ ପଢଉଥିଲେ,
ହୁଁ
ଆଉ ରିଲିଜିୟସ କିଛି ହେଇଗଲା, ଆଉ ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ସୋଲଜର ଯୋଉମାନେ ରୁହନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଶିକ୍ଷା ବି ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରନ୍ତି, ମାନେ କିଛି ବି ସେଲ୍ଫ କେମିତି।
ମେନଲି ସ୍କ୍ରିପଚର୍ସ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା, ଫିଲୋସଫି ପଢା ଯାଉଥିଲା, ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ ପଢା ଯାଉଥିଲା, ଆଷ୍ଟ୍ରୋନମି ପଢା ଯାଉଥିଲା ଆଣ୍ଡ ଅଦର ସବଜେକ୍ଟ। ସେଠି scriptures, they studied scriptures, philosophy, mathematics, astronomy and other subject also. But after that, when Buddhist and Jain influenced the education system, in university like Nalanda and Takshashila, in the period of 4th to 12th century, during this period, Buddhist and Jain influenced the Gurukula system, and in Nalanda and Takshashila were the center of higher learning. And then medieval age period, that is when Islamic influence were taken place. That in that period, madrasa and maktaba emerged under Muslim rule, focusing on religious and formal education, both religious and formal education maktaba and madrasa ରେ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ପଢା ଯାଉଥିଲା। ତାପରେ ଆମର ଆସିଲା ନେକ୍ସଟ ପାର୍ଟରେ 1947 ଟିଲ୍ ଇଣ୍ଡିପେଣ୍ଡେନ୍ସ, ବ୍ରିଟିଶ କଲୋନିଆଲ ପିରିୟଡ ତାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ, ବ୍ରିଟିଶ କଲୋନିଆଲ ପିରିୟଡ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ ଥିଲା ଆମର ମ୍ୟାକମିଲାରୀ ମାଇନୁଟ୍ସ 1835 ସମୟରେ ସେଠି introduce English as the medium of instruction. In British colonial period, Macmillan minute ସେଠି କଣ ହେଇଥିଲା ତ introduce English as the medium of instruction, focusing on Western education. Then Wood's Dispatch 1854 laid the foundation for modern education, emphasizing mass education and teacher training, mass education and teachers training. Then Hunter Commission 1882 ରେ ଆସିଲା, ସେଠି ସେଠି ରେକମେଣ୍ଡେସନ କିଛି କରାଗଲା, ରେକମେଣ୍ଡେଡ ଏକ୍ସପାନ୍ସନ ଅଫ ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ଏଜୁକେସନ। Sadler Commission 1917 ରୁ 1919 advocates for university reform and higher education. After that, post independence policy ଆସିଲା 1947 ରୁ 1990। ତ ତାପରେ ଆଫ୍ଟର ଇଣ୍ଡିପେଣ୍ଡେନ୍ସ ଫାଷ୍ଟ କମିଶନ କଣ ଥିଲା ଆମର?
Ma'am, Radhakrishnan Commission.
Very good, very good. Radhakrishnan Commission, 1948 to 49, strictly recommended university education reform city. Then Kothari Commission asla 19. Then Kothari Commission was implemented 1964 to 66. Proposed a national education system and the 10 plus 2 3 structure. Then national policy asila national commission dita gala gote hela Radhakrishnan commission and Kothari commission. After that national policy on education taken into consideration in 1968 and implemented also, introduced compulsory education for all children up to 14 years, 6 to 14 years compulsory education asla. Then national policy of education 1986, and it was modified in 1992. In 86 that there were 19 chapter, I think. Then 1992 there are 23 chapter, I think. You also
ଆଜ୍ଞା
check.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଯୋଉ POA ଯୋଉ 1992 ଟା
Program of
23
action.
23 23 ଟା
23 1992,
12
that was called program of
86 ଟା
action.
12 ଟା 12 ଗ୍ରୁପ ଥିଲେ ଏଇଟା 23 ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
Hmm. Then focus on equal education opportunity, equity. Then vocational education was also implemented at that time, and teachers training capacity build up also that was discussed in the policy. Then after that 21st century, some reforms were taken in 21st century. That was Right to Education Act 2009, made education a fundamental right for children age 6 to 14. In Indian Constitution, in which article that is
आर्टिकल मैम
linked?
21 है आर्टिकल
Thank you.
21 है
Good. Article 21A, that is Right to Education 2009. According to 6 to 14 year children, they must have rights, fundamental rights for education. Then National Education Policy NEP 2020. Major reforms in the NEP 2020. Major reforms are, what are the major reforms in NEP 2020?
मैम एनईपी तो बहुत किसी रिकमेंडेशन कर क्षेत्र मेनमेंट गुडा कहला परक विषय रे कहिछि आउ हायर एजुकेशन जोडा कहला नैक थला एटा नैक टा गोटे बे सब को एक्रेडिट करबो ए जो एनएसी थला एटा एनएसी हे जिवो नेशनल एक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल जा कि जो थला जो इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में जोडा अलग काउंसिल करला ताकू भी माने एक्रेडिट करबो ଏବେ ଯୋଉ national ଯୋଉ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ranking fairness ଯୋଉଟା ରିଙ୍କର ହେଡ୍ ବାହାରେ ସେଇଟା ବି ଏବେ ନ୍ୟାକ୍ କରିବ ଏନଏସସି ସେଇଟା ହେଇଗଲା। ତାପରେ ସେଜ୍ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ରେକମେଣ୍ଡ କରିଛି ସୋସିଓ ଇକୋନୋମିକାଲ ଯୋଉ ଥାଏ ଯୋଉ ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ମାନେ ଲୋୟର ଗ୍ରୁପ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋଭିଜନ ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଫଣ୍ଡ ରହିବ। ଜେଣ୍ଡର ଇନକ୍ଲୁସିଭ ଫଣ୍ଡ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ହେଟା ରେକମେଣ୍ଡ କରିଛି। ହୋଲିଷ୍ଟିକ ରିପୋର୍ଟ कार्ड जोटा कि आगुरु जेएनपी और केबी मान के यूज है सब गवर्नमेंट स्कूल रे यूज हबो। मैम समस्त से डेडलाइन दे देछि 2030 भितर समस्त के एक्सेस करबा दरकार 2035 भितर मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी और मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी यूनिवर्सिटी गोटे डिस्ट्रिक्ट रे दरकार 2040 रे गला सेटा गला कि समस्त 100% एटा क्वालिटी एजुकेशन पाई परिबे तो बहुत बड़ी रिकमेंडेशन देछि एनपी।
Basically बहुत गुडे recommendation अच्छी, all the recommendation regarding access, equity, accountability, affordability and technology को नहीं की connect कराई। तो फर्स्ट जमती कहले हमर स्कूलिंग पैटर्न रे फर्स्ट चेंज कराई, that is shift to 10 plus 2 pattern shifted to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure in school system. That is first 5 year foundational stage, next 3 years in foundational stage 3 to 8, then next 3 8 to 11, then 11 to 14, then 14 to 18. 5 ବର୍ଷ 3 ବର୍ଷ 3 ବର୍ଷ 4 ବର୍ଷ structure ପିଲାଙ୍କର ରହିବ ସ୍କୁଲିଂ ଷ୍ଟେଜ ରେ। then emphasis ଦିଆ ଯାଇଛି vocational education କୁ ଦିଆ ଯାଇଛି, emphasis on vocational training, critical thinking।
आगे मैम एटा गोटे इंपोर्टेंट पॉइंट जोटा वोकेशनल कोर्स टा बे 6 क्लास रो स्टार्ट होबो जो 10 डेज बैगलेस स्कूल
and multilingualism, ପିଲାଙ୍କର କ୍ଲାସ୍ 5 up to class 5 the mother tongue is technology, integration of technology in every part of education, promotion of higher education, research, multidisciplinary, multiple entry, multiple exit, and multidisciplinary education include କରାଯାଇଛି। the different types of recommendation ଏଥିରେ କରାଯାଇଛି। innovative pedagogy କରାଯାଇଛି, ବହୁତ କିଛି କରାଯାଇଛି। if you read and analysis you can know। The evolution of Indian educational policy reflect a transition from elitist to mass education with a contemporary focus on skill development, digital learning, and inclusivity. Education for all. Would then after independence, then we discuss about after independence, what are the policy and what are the schemes. Please wait for 1 minute. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Then we discuss about after independence, what are the schemes and uh, key aspects. We have already discussed about the national policy 2020, and then we go towards the organizational structure of educational administration. That is central level. In central level, there is Minister of Education, UGC, NCRT, AICT. In state level, there are SCRT, state boards. In district and local level, DO, BO, and SMC. Then decentralization, autonomous bodies. That is central. In the central level, Ministry of Education. Ministry of what is the role and responsibility of Ministry of Education?
मैम कौन सी पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क करिबारे बा किसी गोटे स्कीम आनिबारे किसी एजुकेशन रिलेटेड सेटा हेल्प करता है मिनिस्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन बहुत सारा गवर्नमेंट स्कीम
पॉलिसी फ्रेम करबा पे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन रो इंपोर्टेंट रोल रही सेठी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी मेकिंग बॉडीज आर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस रेस्पोंसिबल फॉर डेवलपिंग implementing and regulating education policy at different levels. These bodies exist at international also and national and local levels. International bodies first international bodies कहला में यूनेस्को को बुझी थाउ यूनाइटेड नेशन एजुकेशनल साइंटिफिक एंड कल्चरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कौन व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ यूनेस्को it sets global educational standards and promote education worldwide. यूनेस्को आमर इंडिया आमर ओडिशा डिफरेंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट रे मध्य बहुत गुडे स्कीम को नेकी काम करछंती. International bodies ର କୋଲାବୋରେସन रे हमर स्टेट एमयू साइन हिची जो द्वारा कि हमें विभिन्न प्रकार एडल्ट एजुकेशन हो डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन हो विभिन्न डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ एजुकेशन फॉर बैकवर्ड says group different types of scheme are implemented through UNESCO. This is an international body and it also sets global education standards and promote education worldwide. And another international body is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, that is OECD. You can note down this. I have not mentioned in this slide. You can note down this OECD, that is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. What is the function and what are the function of OECD? OECD conducts research assessment like PISA to guide education policy. Then international bodies, then World Bank. Well, what is the function of World Bank? World Bank can funds education projects and reform in developing countries. Then UNICEF. UNICEF is also working in Keonjhar district and also in Mayurbhanj district in different schemes. UNICEF, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, it advocates for children education and support education program globally. Then national bodies that I mentioned in the slide. National bodies varies by country. Minister of Education, for example, US Department of Education, UK Department of Education. In India, that is MOE, Minister of Education, but in USA Department of Education, UK Department of Education, India's Minister of Education. It developed national policy, curriculum standards, and funding strategy. The Minister of Education has three functions. First one is develop national policies, and the second one curriculum standard, and third one is funding strategies. Then National Education Council, National Education Association in the USA, Central Advisory Board of Education in India, CBSE. It advises on policies and reforms. In coordination with CBSE and Ministry of Education, the policy are formulated, and CBSE advise on and reforms. Then Education Commission, that is National Commission for Colleges of Education in Nigeria. It regulates teachers training and curriculum uh, development. Regulates teachers training and curriculum development. Then regional and local bodies, state education department implement education policy at the state level, and local school district and boards. These oversee public schools and make decision on curriculum, budgets, and also policies. Regional रे दिटा पार्ट गोटे वन है स्टेट एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट एंड लोकल स्कूल लोकल मीन्स डिस्ट्रिक्ट और ब्लॉक लेवल सिस्टम that oversees public school, all the school system and make decision on curriculum, budget and policy. Then accreditation agency ensure करे कौन ensure educational institution meet quality standards. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହିଲେ NAC NAC क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड मेंटेन केमती होची सेटा को से चेक करूची. Then advisory institution play a crucial role in policy formulation and implementation by providing expert recommendations, research and analysis. These institutions can be government रे हेई पारे नॉन गवर्नमेंट रे मध्ये हेई पारे और इंटरनेशनल मध्ये हेई पारे. फॉर एग्जांपल गवर्नमेंट एडवाइजरी इंस्टीट्यूशन गोटे अच्छी जोटा कि आमे कहूचे नेशनल इकोनॉमिक एंड डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी, नेडा जहाँ को कहूचे आमे नेशनल इकोनॉमिक एंड डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी, जोटा कि फिलीपाइंस रे अच्छी. देन लेजिस्लेटिव एडवाइजरी बॉडी सीबीओ जो आमे कहूचे कांग्रेसनल बजट ऑफिस, एटा यूएसए रे अच्छी. जेमति कि हमरो जेमति अछि अन्य कंट्री रे सेमति कोन कोन अछि. ତ କାଉନସିଲ ଅଫ ଇକୋନୋମିକ ଆଡଭାଇଜର CEA USA ରେ ଅଛି। ଯେମିତି ଅନ୍ୟ ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଆଡଭାଇଜରୀ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ ରେ ୟୁନାଇଟେଡ ନେସନ୍ସ ରେ ଅଛି ହୁ, ଯେମିତି ୱାର୍ଲଡ ହେଲ୍ଥ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ୟୁନାଇଟେଡ ନେସନ ରେ, ଆଣ୍ଡ ଏଜେନ୍ସି ହେଲା ହୁ, ୱାର୍ଲଡ ହେଲ୍ଥ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ଜାଣିଥିବ ତମେ ମାନେ। ଦେନ୍ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛେ, ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ମନିଟାରୀ ଫଣ୍ଡ ଯୋଉଟା ଆମେ କହୁଛେ। ଦେନ୍ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ଫଣ୍ଡ ଅଫ ଇକୋନୋମିକ ଆଣ୍ଡ କୋଅପରେସନ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ OECD ଯୋଉ ଡିସ୍କସ କରିଥିଲେ ଆମେ। ଦେନ୍ ଇଣ୍ଡିପେଣ୍ଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆଣ୍ଡ ନନ୍ ଗଭର୍ନମେଣ୍ଟ ଆଡଭାଇଜରୀ ବଡି, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର ଥିଙ୍କ ଟ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଟା ACRT ରେ ତାର ଗୋଟେ ୱିଙ୍ଗ ଅଛି। ACRT କଣ ଜାଣିଛ ACRT?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍, ଷ୍ଟେଟ କାଉନସିଲ ଆଣ୍ଡ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଯୋଉଟା ଥାଏ
ହଁ,
SCRT।
NCRT ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଇଏରେ ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଲେଭେଲରେ କାମ କରୁଛି, ସେମିତି ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଷ୍ଟେଟ ଲେଭେଲରେ SCRT କାମ କରୁଛି। ସେ SCRT ରେ ଗୋଟେ ୱିଙ୍ଗ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ଇଣ୍ଡିପେଣ୍ଡେଣ୍ଟ ନନ୍ ଗଭର୍ନମେଣ୍ଟ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ, ନନ୍ ଗଭର୍ନମେଣ୍ଟ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଇଣ୍ଡିପେଣ୍ଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆଡଭାଇଜରୀ ବଡି, ଯୋଉମାନେ କି ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଏକାଡେମିକ ପରଫର୍ମାନ୍ସ ବା ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ ଆଚିଭମେଣ୍ଟ ବା ଟିଚର୍ସ କାପାସିଟି ବିଲ୍ଡିଂ ଉପରେ କାମ କରନ୍ତି। ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କୁହା ଥିଙ୍କ ଟ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ବୋଲି ତାକୁ କୁହାଯାଉଛି। ସେମାନେ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା, ଫର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ବ୍ରୁକିଂସ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ, ରାଣ୍ଡ କୋଅପରେସନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଯୋଉ ତାଙ୍କର ଅଛି ଚତମ ହାଉସ ହ୍ୱିଚ୍ କଣ୍ଡକ୍ଟ ପଲିସି ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ, ମାନେ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ବି କରନ୍ତି, ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମଧ୍ୟ ନିଅନ୍ତି। ପ୍ରଫେସନାଲ ଆସୋସିଏସନ ଯୋଉଟାକ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଟା କହୁଛି ଆମେ ଆମେରିକାନ ମେଡିକାଲ ଆସୋସିଏସନ, ଯୋଉଟାକି ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଉପରେ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ହେଲ୍ଥ କେୟାର ପଲିସି ବନାଉଛନ୍ତି। ମାନେ ଆକାଡେମିକ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟି, ଯୋଉ କହୁଛେ ଆମେ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟି ଆଣ୍ଡ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ସେଣ୍ଟର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁଟ ଟୁ ପଲିସି ଷ୍ଟଡି ଆଣ୍ଡ ରେକମେଣ୍ଡେସନ। ପଲିସି ତିଆରି ହଉଛି, ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ ହଉଛି, ତାପରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ହଉଛି, ଷ୍ଟଡି ହଉଛି, ତାପରେ ପଲିସିକୁ ପୁଣି ଚେଞ୍ଜ ମୋଡକୁ ଅଣାହଉଛି। In education system, everything is changing. Everything is a changing process. Education system is also a changing process. In each and every year, according to the social need and political need, economic need, education system is changed day by day. Since independence, various scheme also କାମ କରୁଛି, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ different types of scheme and agency କାମ କରୁଛି education ପାଇଁ। Program since independence, various schemes and programs have been launched in response to education policy to promote literacy, quality education and inclusivity. ଏଠି କିଛି ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଟା କି ୟୁନିଭର୍ସାଲାଇଜେସନ ଅଫ ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟାରୀ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ କହୁଛେ, ସେଟା ସର୍ବଶିକ୍ଷା ତରଫରୁ 2001 ରେ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସାଲ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଇଁ ରହିଥିଲା। ଟାର୍ଗେଟ 2010 ଥିଲା। ସର୍ବଶିକ୍ଷା ଅଭିଯାନ ଲଞ୍ଚ ହେଇଥିଲା 2001 ରେ। ଲଞ୍ଚ ଆଫ୍ଟର ଦ ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ପଲିସି ଅନ୍ ଏଜୁକେସନ 86 ପରେ, ରିଭାଇଜ ପରେ 92 ପରେ, ସେଟା 2001 ରେ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହେଇଥିଲା। ସର୍ବଶିକ୍ଷା aimed at universalization of elementary education. Later it merged into ସମଗ୍ର ଶିକ୍ଷା। ସମଗ୍ର ଶିକ୍ଷା କେବେ ହେଲା?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ 2018।
2001.
ହଁ, 2018 ରେ ସର୍ବଶିକ୍ଷା ଥିଲା ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟାରୀ ଲେଭେଲ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ, ସେଟା ସମଗ୍ର ଶିକ୍ଷା ହେଲା, ସେଟା ଅପ୍ ଟୁ ହାଇ ସ୍କୁଲ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ, କଲେଜ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍, ସେଇଟା SSR, ANSA and ଟିଚର ଏଜୁକେସନ କମ୍ବିନେସନ ରେ ହେଇଛି ସମଗ୍ର।
କମ୍ବିନେସନ ରେ ସେଟା ତିନିଟା ଯାକ କରାଗଲା। ନେକ୍ସଟ ସ୍କିମ୍ ଥିଲା ଆମର ମିଡ୍ ଡେ ମିଲ୍ ସ୍କିମ୍, ଯୋଉଟା 1995
1995 ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ହଁ 5 ରେ ଏକ୍ସପାଣ୍ଡେଡ ଅପ୍ ଟୁ 2001। ସେଟା କଣ ତାର ଏମ୍ ଅଛି? ଇମ୍ପ୍ରୁଭିଂ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଏନରୋଲମେଣ୍ଟ ଇନ୍ ସ୍କୁଲ ଟୁ ଆଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କୁ, ବା ୟୁନିଭର୍ସାଲ ଆକ୍ସେସ ବା ଆକ୍ସେସ ରେଟ୍ କୁ ବଢେଇବା ପାଇଁ ଏଟା ଗୋଟେ ସ୍କିମ୍ ଆସିଥିଲା, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ମିଡ୍ ଡେ ମିଲ୍ ସ୍କିମ୍। ସେଥିରେ ତାର ପ୍ରୋପାଗାଣ୍ଡା ଥିଲା, ପ୍ରୋପାଗାଣ୍ଡା ୱାଜ ଇମ୍ପ୍ରୁଭିଂ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଏନରୋଲମେଣ୍ଟ ଇନ୍ ସ୍କୁଲ୍ସ। Then right to education RTR 2009, following the 86th constitutional amendment 2002, this made education a fundamental right for children 6 to 14 years. Then secondary, এটা ଥିଲା elementary level ରେ scheme and program. Then secondary and higher education ରେ ଥିଲା ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରୀୟ ମାଧ୍ୟମିକ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଅଭିଯାନ, ଯୋଉଟା କହୁଛେ ଆମେ ରାମସା। 2009 ରେ ସେଟା ଆସିଥିଲା। expanded to access to secondary education, ସେଇ ତରଫରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡିଏ ସ୍କିମ୍ ଥିଲା, ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଷ୍ଟାଇପେଣ୍ଡ ଆଉ ସାଇକେଲ ସବୁ ଦିଆଯାଉଥିଲା ଟୁ ଆକ୍ସେସ ଟୁ ଏନରୋଲମେଣ୍ଟ କୁ ଇନକ୍ରିଜ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସେକେଣ୍ଡାରୀ ଲେଭେଲରେ ରାମସା ଇନକ୍ଲୁଡ କରାଯାଇଥିଲା। then national program for education for girls at elementary level जोटा कि NP EGL ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ସେଟା କେବେ ହେଇଥିଲା କି?
मैम 2001 and KGB 2002
ସେଟା up to 3 2003 ରେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା मैम
ସେଟା
2
ଫୋକସ
3 ଏଇଟା 2001 ରେ NPGL National Program for Education
LPGL
Girl Child
2003 ସେଟା ଫୋକସ କରୁଥିଲା ଜେଣ୍ଡର ଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଇନ୍ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଉପରେ ଫୋକସ କରୁଥିଲା ସେଟା। ଦେନ୍ ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ମିନ୍ସ କମ୍ ମେରିଟ ସ୍କଲାରସିପ ଯୋଟା NMMS ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ସେଟା 2008 ରେ ଆସିଲା। କଣ ପାଇଁ ନା ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଦବା ମେରିଟୋରିୟସ୍ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଦବା ପାଇଁ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଫର ମେରିଟୋରିୟସ୍ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଇକୋନୋମିକାଲି ୱିକର ସେକ୍ସନ ସେମାନେ NMS ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରିବେ ସ୍କଲାରସିପ ପାଇବେ। ଦେନ୍ ଆସିଲା ଉନ୍ନତ ଜ୍ୟୋତି ବାୟ ଆଫୋର୍ଡେବିଲିଟି LED ଫର ଅଲ୍ ଉଜ୍ଜଳ ଯୋଉ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଉଜ୍ଜଳର ଫୁଲ ଫର୍ମ ହଉଛି ଉନ୍ନତ ଜ୍ୟୋତି ବାୟ ଆଫୋର୍ଡେବଲ LED ଫର ଅଲ୍ ଉଜ୍ଜଳ ଓ ବିଦ୍ୟାଞ୍ଜଳି 2016 ରେ ଆସିଲା ସେଟା ଟୁ ଏନକରେଜ କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି ପାର୍ଟିସିପେସନ ଇନ୍ ସ୍କୁଲ୍ସ। ଏଟା ଗଲା ସେକେଣ୍ଡାରୀ ଲେବୁଲ ରେ ଆମର କୋଅର୍ଡିନେସନ ନେଟୱାର୍କିଂ ଯୋଉ ସ୍କିମ୍ ଆସିଥିଲା। ଦେନ୍ ହାୟର ଏଜୁକେସନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ସ୍କିଲ୍ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଇଁ କଣ ସ୍କିମ୍ ଅଛି? ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟି ଗ୍ରାଣ୍ଟ କମିଶନ ଯୋଉଟା ୟୁଜିସି କେବେ ୱାର୍କ ଆଉଟ କରାଯାଇଥିଲା?
मैम 1956 53 रे माने लागू हला इनागुरेशन हला 1956
1956 हाँ established to regulate and fund higher education institutions. Then national policy on education 1968 1986 and 2020 provided major reforms including the 10+2 3 system and flexibility in learning. Then राष्ट्रीय उच्चतर शिक्षा अभियान रुसा जोटा हमें कहोचे जोटा 2013 रे आसिला strengthening state university and colleges. Then skill India mission 2015 रे से स्कीम आसी जोटा कि address employability through a vocational training program. Then national education policy NEP 2020 introduced multiple entry or exit option. Credit transfer जो कथा कहूली मु I have already told ABC academic bank of credit जदि गोटे पिला कोर्स करूची सिमिलर टाइप्स ऑफ कोर्स करूची तो फिजिक्स रे जो रिलेटेड किसी कोर्स करूची तार तार 200 पॉइंट जेतेबेले हिजिवो से गोटे ग्रेजुएशन डिग्री सर्टिफिकेट पाइबो से क्रेडिट टा तार 200 हवा पर्यंत काउंट होतबो 200 हेले से डिग्री बोलिका सेटा इक्विवेलेंट हबो सेटा को एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट कह जाउची मल्टीपल एंट्री एंड मल्टीपल एग्जिट सिस्टम मध्ये करा हितला। देन आसला हमर डिजिटल इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन जोटा को हमें कहूचे पीएमई विद्या पीएमई विद्या आसला केबे
मैम से 18 नाले 21 हेतिबो
सेटा कोडी आफ्टर एनईपी 2020 पीएमई विद्या इज implemented digital learning program in response to covid-19 ପରେ digital learning ପାଇଁ पीएमई विद्या 2020 ରେ इनोवेशन ହେଇଥିଲା। देन आसला स्वयं समस्ते जानिथियो स्वयं रे मध्ये कोर्स करथिबो स्वयं कौन करे गोटे मूक प्लेटफॉर्म दिए मूक जो कहूचे आमे ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म गोटे दिए जो कि कोर्स फ्री ऑनलाइन कोर्सेस फॉर हायर एजुकेशन पिला करछंती। देन दीक्षा पोर्टल दीक्षा आसला 2017 रे डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फॉर टीचर्स टीचर कौन करले ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग बा निजर कैपेसिटी बिल्डअप पे ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग नै परिबे दीक्षा पोर्टल रे कंटेंट मध्ये अपलोड हेची जोटा कि पिला को से माने क्लास रे देखै कि पढ़ै परिबे डिजिटल एक्सेस करि परिबे टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज कर परिबे। देन इंटीग्रेटेड एजुकेशन फॉर डिजेबल चिल्ड्रन आसला आईडीसी जोटा कि 1974 रु स्टार्ट है कि and inclusive education for disabled at secondary stage asla IDSS जोटा 2009 रे आस्तिला। then special education program for student with disability how many types of disability
मैम 21 under the provision of RPW Act 2016
हाँ 2016 पर 21 disability आसीची then तो आमे देखले तापरे आमे डिस्कशन करबा स्पेसिफिकली एमओ मिनिस्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन पर डिस्कस करबा तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर बोरिंग लागु छी की
नो मैम
स्पीड हे जाउची की ब्लॉक वन आज सारिबा
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଚଳିବ।
हाँ The organizational structure of education at the national level varies by country, but generally it consists of several key institutions and role responsibility for policy making, regulation and implementation. So, our Ministry of Education is one regulated body or organizational body. The highest authority ताकू दिया जायछि एजुकेशन पॉलिसी एंड रेगुलेशन पई से कौन करछि ना हमर मिनिस्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन एमओई डेवलप national education policy curriculum and standards allocates budgets and funding for schools and educational institutions. It ensures compliance with national and international education framework. तमे जानिथिबो जो एनईपी 2020 हमर आसी दैट इज ए ब्लेंडिंग ऑफ डिफरेंट पॉलिसी एंड प्रोग्राम्स जदि हम एनालिसिस करबा गुरुकुल सिस्टम ठो आरंभ करी इस्लामिक सिस्टम ऑफ एजुकेशन मॉडर्न सिस्टम ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड कॉलोनियल पीरियड ऑफ एजुकेशन सब पीरियड रे एजुकेशन सिस्टम को एठी ब्लेंड कराइछि बा मिसा कि गोटे भलो ड्राफ्ट बनाइछि जोटा कि फाइनलाइजेशन होला पर हम इम्प्लीमेंट करूछि तो इट इज ए blending of different types of education systems in colonial period, medieval period and Gurukula system. National Education Council and Committee जो टाइम कोचे advisory body टा सेटा advisory body that provides recommendations on education policy. It may include expert educators, policy makers and stakeholders, help in curriculum development, teachers training and research. जोटा आम कहे National Education Council and Committee. Then department and agency under the MOE, a Minister of Education under a concurrent department achi. Department of Basic Education, jeta ki handle karuchi primary and secondary education. Department of Higher Education that oversees university and colleges. Department of Technical and Vocational Education, TVET jeta ame koche. Seta TVET institution guda ko handle karuchi. Then asla examination and curriculum authority जोटा कि मैनेज करूची national exam and curriculum develop करची. Then teachers training and certification board जोटा कि regulate करूची teacher education and licensing पे. तापर regional and local educational authority रे आसुची हमरो से माने कोन करछंती implement national policy at the state, provincial and district level, manage local school, distribute resources and oversee teacher recruitment. Work with schools to ensure quality education delivery. Then university and higher education institution function operate under a national university commission or council, may have some level of autonomy but follow national accreditation standards, conduct research and provide higher education program. Then private or non-government organization jota kohuche ame NGO. Some countries follow private institutions to operate under national regulations. NGO contribute to education through funding, research and policy advocacy. ଆମର ଯେମିତି ଏଠି ଅଛି ପ୍ରଥମ ଗୋଟେ NGO ଅଛି ଯୋଟା କି ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ ଲେଭେଲ ରେ କାମ କରୁଛି ଫଣ୍ଡିଂ ପାଇଁ ସେମିତି ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଲେଭେଲ ରେ ଆମର ପିରାମଲ फाउंडेशन काम करूची पिरामल फाउंडेशन क्वालिटी एजुकेशन एंड मटेरियल डेवलपमेंट एंड FLN এই তিনটা উপরে কাম করছি এটা ওসেপা আন্ডারে কাম করছি সে डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ एनजीओ मध्य क्वालिटी डेवलपमेंट बा क्वालिटी एजुकेशन पई काम करछंती तो दिस इज ए नेटवर्क इन डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइज डिफरेंट स्टेज नेशनल लेवल रे किछि ऑर्गेनाइज नेटवर्किंग रे काम करछंती स्टेट रे मध्य समस्त प्राइवेट पब्लिक पार्टनरशिप जोटा हमें कहचे वर्तमान जोटा बेसी जो काम करछि हमर जो स्कूल रे जो आसिला जो फंक्शन करूथिला हमर स्कूल रे मो स्कूल सेटा कोन हमें एई जो क्राइटेरिया अछि बा डायमेंशन अछि ताको को भितरे फिट करि परिबा
मैम क्वेश्चन टा कोन कहले
जो मो स्कूल अभियान जो स्कूल रे बे चली सेटा जो एमती गवर्नमेंट एजेंसी कोऑर्डिनेशन नेटवर्किंग टीचर स्टूडेंट प्लेटफॉर्म आ गोटे पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप ए भीतर कोठी सेटा फिट हो जाउची करि परिबा हमें सेटा फिट
मैडम पब्लिक प्राइवेट पब्लिक
very good ହଁ କାହିଁକି ନା ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଆଲୁମିନି ସଂଘ କଲେ ସେଠି କିଛି ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ କଣ ହେଲା ନା ଗୋଟେ କୋର୍ଡିନେସନ ବିଲ୍ଡ ହେଲା ଏବଂ ଲିଙ୍କେଜ ହେଲା ପୁରୁଣା ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନେ ସ୍କୁଲ ପ୍ରତି ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ଆସିଲା ଗୋଟେ ଆତ୍ମୀୟତା ଭାବ ଯୋଉଟା କି କୋର୍ଡିନେସନ କଲା ଲିଙ୍କେଜ କଲା ଗୋଟେ ରାପୋ ବିଲ୍ଡ କଲା ଆମେ ଆମର ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ବା ମୁଁ ପଢୁଥିବା ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ଡେଭଲପ କରିବି ତାପରେ ସରକାର କଣ କଲେ ସେଠି ତାଙ୍କର ପାର୍ଟନରସିପ ବା ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଫଣ୍ଡସଟା ସେଠି ଦୁଇଗୁଣା କରିକି ଦେଲେ ଯୋଉଟା କି ସ୍କୁଲର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଲା ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ସବୁ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଟାଇପର ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ସ୍କିମ୍ ଦ୍ୱାରା କଣ ହୁଏ ନା ଆମର କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହୁଏ ସ୍କୁଲର ତେଣୁ କୋର୍ଡିନେସନ ଆଉ ନେଟୱାର୍କିଂ ପାର୍ଟନରସିପ ଲିଙ୍କେଜ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଏ ଭେରି ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ରୋଲ ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଏଭ୍ରି ଷ୍ଟେକ୍ ହୋଲ୍ଡର ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ରୋଲ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର ସେକ୍ସନ 4 ରେ ଏନଇପି 2020 ରେ ମେନସନ କରାଯାଇଛି ମେକିଂ ଇଟ୍ ହାପେନ୍ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନେଇକି ଆମେ ଏନଇପି 2020 କେମିତି 100% ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ କରେଇବା ବା ଏନି ପଲିସିକୁ ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ କରେଇବା ମେକିଂ ଇଟ୍ ହାପେନ୍ କରେଇବା ସେଟା ଯୋଉ ଲାଷ୍ଟରେ ଯୋଉ 3ଟା ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି ତେଣୁ ସେଇଟା କରିବା ଦ୍ୱାରା କଣ ହବ ନା ଗୋଟେ ରାପୋ ବିଲ୍ଡ ହବ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ପ୍ରପର କୋର୍ଡିନେସନ ରହିବ ଗୋଟେ ନେଟୱାର୍କ ସିଷ୍ଟମ କାମ କରିବ ମାନେ ଡିସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲାଇଜ କରିଦିଆଯିବ ପାୱାରକୁ ଉପର ଲେଭେଲରେ ତଳକୁ ଆସିବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ପାୱାରକୁ ଡିସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲାଇଜ କରିଦିଆଯିବ ଏବଂ ଲିଙ୍କେଜ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ପାର୍ଟନରସିପ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ କାମ କରାଯିବ କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କରାଯିବ then ଆସିଲା your block 1 is covered I think after block 1 you can understanding policy and administration improves education କଣ ଆମେ ଏ ଯୋଉ ସିଚୁଏସନ ଯୋଉ ପଢିଲେ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସ କଲେ ତାର କଣ ମାନେ ପଲିସି କଣ ହଉଛି ଅଣ୍ଡରଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡିଂ ୟୁ ଅଣ୍ଡରଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ ଦ ପଲିସି and administration improves କଣ କରେ education governance କୁ improve କରେ then coordinate ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ତ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଶୁଣାଯାଉଛି
ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍
Yes, ma'am.
କଟିଗଲା କି
Screen କଟି ଯାଇଛି ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଏବେ ଦେଖା